every person that I've let go or set free in love has come back to me. And every person that I've been obsessed with has pulled away from me. Why? Because obsession is not healthy. It doesn't look healthy. It comes off as desperate. It does not give off the right energy. If you feel like you're obsessed with somebody and that is healthy and that is a form of deep love for them, that's actually not true. You might just push them to a point where they feel the need to pull away from you. Because as humans, we all have this innate need to feel a sense of freedom. Now, that's not in every way, because there is codependency that exists. There is healthy attachment that exists. We as humans are supposed to connect with each other so as to be able to keep this culture or this motive of socialization going, because we're social beings. We should be connecting with people, but obsession in and of itself is crazy. It's not the right thing. It's in the best and the deepest of relationships, obsession is something that can literally give it a turn. And have you seen those movies where there's this person that's in love with another person? Like, for example, the movie Hacked. It's a Bollywood movie. So this person falls in love with this lady, and the lady is just not interested. And then, because he feels rejected and his ego is hurt, he goes after her, hacks her accounts, hacks her phones, hacks her devices, and tries to destroy her life. And that's because the guy was always obsessed with her. He wasn't in love with her, because when you're in love with somebody, you want nothing but their happiness. And that's why you set them free and you let them go. For me, it seems like pretty much oppressing someone when it comes to begging them to stay. Because if I love someone, all I would want is their happiness and them to feel a sense of freedom. If I love someone, I should try my best to make them feel a little safer from my end as a zaria of them feeling safe, which Allah provides them, to whatever extent I can. Because if I love somebody, it should mean that I want to contribute in a positive way to somebody's life. And the last thing I want to do is come across as desperate or obsessed in front of them. Nobody likes desperation. As much as we might feel like, no, but I love this person, I love them, I just care for them a lot, I have deep love for them. But if you do have love for them, like, you set them free. Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik, Allah has given me with a mother that loves me and my sisters deeply. Deeply. She loves my father deeply, alhamdulillah. She's a very loving woman. So there's the people that she loves. But I've never seen her tell me once in her life, Beta, come to me, talk to me, give me some time, give me some attention. You never spend time with your mother. Or how dare you keep the secret from me? Or how dare you just do this? Or I should know everything about you because you're my daughter. My mother, from her end, tried to give us this sense of freedom and always try to make us feel like we are safe when we're with her. Safe in the sense that we're free to have our opinions, we're free to be in our natural energies, as in my father in his natural masculine energy, me, my sisters in our childlike feminine energy. And that's only because she always gave us that safe space to be our true selves. And while I'm at it, I just want to take a second and talk about, not a second, just a few minutes to talk about feminine energy. I hopefully will make an in-depth video about this, but let me tell you one thing. Guys, feminine energy is not about having an identity crisis. Feminine energy, according to me, is when a woman feels so safe that she blooms like a flower does. And who said that a feminine woman can't experience or express her emotions, A lot of people are saying, when you're in your feminine energy, don't laugh really loudly. But that's not the case. When you're in your feminine energy, according to me, because that's just so natural to every woman, it naturally comes about when she is feeling safe. If you want to see a flower bloom, you make sure you water the plant which has that flower to make sure that the flower receives enough resources to be able to bloom. Otherwise, a woman that's protecting her feminine energy is like a butterfly. And when you give her that space and the time to feel safe, she blooms. It's very natural for a woman, especially around mahrams. She becomes her childlike self or she becomes her feminine self. And she expresses, they say like women shouldn't laugh really loudly. She shouldn't get too excited. She should be really calm. But some women, when they're in the natural feminine energy, they're excited. They're giggling like a child. They're like teasing their loved ones. It's like that for a lot of women. So that's what I wanted to touch a little bit, because it's been on my mind for a while, and I hope you guys understand that. Like the women out there that have been confused, that people keep telling them don't laugh loudly, sit a certain way, don't move around a lot, don't get too excited. You have all the rights to. In fact, when it comes to being in your feminine energy, I feel like when you feel the sense of I can be myself, you naturally dive into your feminine energy. But when you are not feeling safe, you'll either just not do that well, as though flowers getting damaged, or you'll just become a bud again. Even though a flower turning into a bud is quite literally impossible, you'll become that because you want to protect yourself. You're in survival mode. So of course you can't expect a flower to bloom when it's in survival, when it's not receiving the resources, when it looks for them but doesn't receive it. So anyways, my mother was always this loving person, but she never caged anyone into what she wanted them to be doing. Now, of course, as a mother, does she have her expectations? Is she like strict on a few things? Yeah, every mother is. But in the sense that she's never ever tried to be somebody that when I'm away from house, I tell my friends that I thank God that mom's not calling, or mom isn't here with me. It's almost like I miss her. And that's what happened when you are somebody that is detached, and when you're somebody that lets go. You know, my mother is always like, she sets us free. You want to go meet your friends? Go ahead. You want to talk to your friends? Go ahead. You want to maintain a diary? Go ahead. You know, you want to talk about having a crush? Go ahead. Why do you think I'm making all these videos? Because I was always free about these to my mom. And she always made it feel like a really a normal topic. And then I talk to some people that are always like, oh, but then you talk about crush? You talk about menstruation so openly? Of course not in a vulgar manner, but like openly, right? And yeah, it was like, yeah, because it's so natural to me. Like, my mother has always normalized these kind of things because they're very much a part of our life as anything else is. So as long as you don't speak of it in a filthy or in a disrespectful way, I guess it's fine. The reason my sisters and I believe, are so drawn to my mother is because she's given us that sense of freedom, and she's also been detached. But she's always made sure that when we're around her, she's not this mother that is garam in her head. Like, my mother does not criticize me for being this overexpressive child. Neither does she criticize my other sisters for being shy at times or introverted, even though they have different aspects to their personality. She lets us all be. And that's what makes us like really love her, you know, and drawn to her. But anyone in my life that's ever been obsessed with me, firstly, they've kind of creeped me out. And second of all, I've naturally pulled away. Because if you sense desperation, or if you sense that someone is depending upon you to a point that their happiness or their sadness depends entirely upon how you are, that in and of itself is such a big responsibility that they're burdening you with. Because, and even if they're not meaning to burden you with it, you just take it onto yourself. You're just like, no, I just want to feel a little bit free. I'm a human with flaws. I make mistakes. I cannot take the guarantee of somebody's happiness to a point that everything I do dictates how they feel about themselves, right? It shouldn't be that. And to me as well, I will not get obsessed with anyone or attached to anyone to a point that if they don't treat me well, I'm like, no, I'm just done. You know, my life is done. I don't feel good about myself. No. I don't want anyone to give me that position in their life where they are obsessed with me to a point they're always wanting to know where I am at. They're wanting to control me. They don't trust me. I'm naturally drawn to the people that let me be. I like being at home because I feel free, alhamdulillah. Nobody is obsessed with me. And it's so liberating to have nobody be obsessed with you. People are like, you know, they'll be obsessed with you, make them chase you. Oh, well, yeah, there are a lot of players out there that maybe girls make these kind of videos about. But in general, if you're somebody that does not even want to give a place to a player in your life, then it's very easy. You wouldn't want anyone in your life to be obsessed with you, because it's unhealthy. When someone's obsessed with you, they give you too much power, and they depend upon you too much, and they give you too much of responsibility to dictate the chemical reactions in their brain. There are a lot of people that get obsessed with you if you're public on social media, and they're like, oh, like, you know, especially non-mahrams, there are a lot of creeps. They try to creep you out. And when you reject them, and they come again and again and again, and when you keep ignoring them, especially on Instagram, I get that a lot. When you keep ignoring them, they still come back. It creeps me out. I'm like, I don't want you to be obsessed with me, dude. Please stay away. Obsessed people creep me out. I don't want a guy to be obsessed with me. I don't want anyone to be obsessed with me. I want to be and let be. I want others to let me be free, and that's when I'm my most happy, bubbly, and free self. Because the thing is that when you feel safe, protected, and free, in a sense, you are naturally like drawn to the person. You're naturally drawn to whoever makes you feel that way. But when you feel like you're creeped out, when you feel like you're controlled, when you feel like you're always like someone's like in an unhealthy manner dependent upon you, it's very human to want to pull away. And that's why obsession is unhealthy. Obsession means you're giving somebody the rights to cause chemical reactions in your brain. Do you realize how dangerous that is? Every time you feel like I'm obsessing over this person, what you need to do is accept exactly that. Yes, I give this person the full control to run on my mind and to be on my mind for now. But we're gonna get out of this. Every time I have ever been obsessed with anyone, I've been to myself, yeah, I have. And they'll get over my mind. It's never ever love. Love is when it's very different. Forget romantic love, forget what movies tell you for 1 second. Think about that person, maybe a best friend, maybe a parent. They can't be compared. Parent, a best friend, whoever is the closest in your life. Are you obsessed with them or do you love them? And if you think you're obsessed with them, look up the definition of what obsessed actually means. Mind you, this is the person that you feel the safest and your most calm self with. You really think it's an obsession? No, it's love. It's love when you feel calm and safe and protected around someone, when you feel like they're your home. Not obsession. Obsession is you want to see them, you're so addicted to a person in an unhealthy manner. And a lot of the times, obsessions can be negative. Obsessions can be unhealthy. You might hate that you're obsessed with somebody, and it's not your fault, but there are a few things you need to work on if you're obsessed with somebody, which is, do you have any traumas to heal? Or were you ever in conditions where you had to love abusers, where you had to love neglectful people? Or maybe, are you naive, a little innocent, that you get obsessed with randomly anyone, and you have something lacking in you which you think should be completed, and that person can complete, and not yourself, and not the love that you have for yourself? If that's the case, then work on establishing a lot of love for yourself within yourself, and you'll feel the need to not obsess over a single person. And every time I've ever set someone free, by the way, also, I've ever let someone go, they've come back to me. Because I don't live in the state of lack. It was so difficult for me also to adapt this, because I started becoming more genuine and honest with my feelings and emotions in my relationships. For example, in my recent friendships, I have been really healthy. I only focus on uplifting the people that are around me, giving them positivity, compliments. I don't contact people that I'm in talking terms with, or friends and relatives on a daily basis, but with the ones I'm in touch with, I just make sure that when I'm around them, they feel positivity. I'm like, if they like me, because I know what I'm contributing to their life, they'll come back to me. And if they don't, that's okay too. I'm not obsessed. I'm not spending all my time of my life with them to make them obsessed with me. I'm better. And neither of us should be obsessed with each other, because it's just not healthy. Love is beyond and better than obsession. It's when you set someone free, when you let someone go. Love is not forced. Love is not thrusted on someone. If someone's lost their sense of love for you, it's time to pack your bags and move on. You might have feelings for them, but if they don't have the same for you, it's time to leave, or it's time to detach and establish love for yourself within yourself. And that'll make you realize this person was another human. I was the one that poured my energy into them. I was the one that invested so many emotions in them. I was the one that gave them the power to control how I feel, day and night. It was a waste of time. It was draining. When I'm in love with someone, like, alhamdulillah, I love my mother. I have 2 siblings, and I'm the jealous type sometimes. I'm like, Mama spent more time with me. But recently, what I've adopted, the mindset also I've adopted is, my mom, all I care about is for her to be happy. Wherever she's happy, wherever she's content, let her be over there. I have the same emotions towards my dad. I have the same emotions towards a very close friend of mine, but to different levels, but that's just what it is. I don't want people to do as I want them to do. I set them free. And every time I have done that, people have come back to me. Because there's just something different and mesmerizing, enchanting, and also safe about the people that set you free. Love and attachment are 2 very different things. That's it. Inshallah, I'll meet you guys in my next video. Love the people around you, but do not control them. Love them, and they will keep drawing themselves towards you. Trust me on that. Okay, Allah Hafiz, fi aman Allah.